CJ said Garcia should be QB1. Restrepo needs to be okay. We got oh man, what's
What's
going
up?
on, Chase?
I'm good. Let me make sure my mic good. My mic good?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
All right, perfect, man. I was just making sure, man. What's up with you, man?
Good, good. Just chilling on this Sunday. Didn't know if I was gonna come on today because since the off season I've been kind of chilling on the Sundays. I normally do a regular college football show on Sundays where I bring other guys from different teams and everything, and we just talk about everything football, not just Miami. But with the
Right.
spring game coming up soon, the scrimmage happening, decide to see what the fans were thinking. We're not really getting too much. We're just getting what Manny's giving us right now. But based on what he's giving us, how you feeling?
I mean, I'm gonna tell y'all, man. There's a lot of coach talk, man. They're never gonna be negative. I don't care what program it is. You know what I mean? But
Right.
gonna be positive. So it's just some coach speaking there, and that's fine. It is what it is. You got to keep it positive. But I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, it's hard to say because you don't know what's what. Of course, he highlighted the guys that did extremely well, but like I say, what about a Pope? Didn't hear any stats from that guy. What about a Cam? You know what I mean? So, like that's the problem. You know what I mean? Where the guys that you maybe consider starters, you ain't hear anything about. So it's like it's not always what people say; is what they don't say is always the big thing.
Right. Because I mean, guys, he's only okay. So we got the Xavier Restrepo numbers. We got the Mike Harley numbers, which from what Manny says, Mike Harley went out there and just picked up from where he left off. So they kind of ended his night early. Just get him out of there real quick because now let's get the other guys some reps that we think are probably gonna need it more than you do. But nonetheless, we don't get those numbers. We don't know. I mean, Xavier numbers. We don't know whether Tyler Van Dyke throw those passes to him. We don't know if it's Jake Garcia. We got 2 interceptions. We don't know who threw. We don't know nothing. What happened? Did Matoka even play anything? So it's hard to judge and look at these different position battles when we have no visual or anything. We just got a 2-minute clip from Manny saying this guy did this, that.
But like I'm saying, man, you got to listen to what they don't say. That's the big thing. Listen to what guys don't say tells you the story. When you're dealing with these coaches and stuff, when they're not talking about guys, because think about it, if a guy did well and he don't mention it, what is that telling you? That's how I look at it. You know what I mean? If I had a guy that did well, or even like, for example, he brings out a Jake Garcia, right? Which is this really his first scrimmage in college. And he mentions him. So he did well. But then you don't bring up Matoka, that means he probably didn't do as well. But you don't want to go out and say that because it sounds negative. So you got to kind of read between the lines when you deal with these coaches, man. But I got to say this. My man, Chase Smith with the pick. I'm telling you, that dude going to be man.
Mr. Melbourne, man.
Yeah, man. I was happy to see that.
Chase, where you think they're gonna play him though? Because he's listed as an athlete, but where you think they're gonna put him on the field? Because I heard dude is versatile as crazy.
I think he's the epitome of a striker. Like for that position, he can cover. It showed on his film. He can blitz. It shows on his film. He can cover, do zone. It shows on his film. You know what I mean? So, he is the jack of all trades. That's why I like him so much, because if you ever want to send him off the edge, you can. If you want to have him cover, he can. If you want to play him in zone, you can. So, and even if you want to get real exotic with it and throw him back there maybe as a third safety in some kind of form, like, you don't have to take him off the field from a prevent standpoint. If they go 5 wide, you don't have to worry. That's why I like Chase Smith, because he's so versatile and he excels at all different facets of the game. That's why I like him.
Yeah, not to mention too, after not playing last year because of medical reasons, then you have Avante also coming out with an interception. Man, that's not to mention, he picked up that big number 15. So for the past 2 seasons, that big number 15 has been doing great things, but on the defensive end side. But to see this guy come back after, a lot of people didn't know where his future would go, based on his medical history. But to see him come out there first scrimmage, grab that interception, hey.
And the thing is, right, like I tell guys, because we don't know, we don't have footage, you also have to ask, and this goes for Chase Smith too, what kind of interception? Did it bounce off the receiver hand and it popped in? Did you rope it off? Did you break on it? Whatever. But I know I did see your boy Amari Carter lay the wood on some, who was that? He laid the wood on, man. Oh my God. That was a poor little Timmy, bro.
I gotta cop me some Polar Timmy, man. I gotta get around to that. I gotta come on here one of these nights and just, hey, Polar Timmy right here.
I got one around here somewhere. I don't know where it is. I got a bunch of some things around here somewhere. But yeah, man, I'm just, it's excited to see good things happen. I think, like you were saying earlier, that we got to rally behind Manny Diaz. He the man at the helm right now. So we got to get behind the dude. And he's doing things, like I say, he's done, all the fans been barking about X, Y, and Z, and he's making X, Y, and Z happen. Now you got to put it on the field. You know what I mean? I get it, but at the end of the day, bro, you got to play football, man. But I'm excited about the young class, and I'm excited the fact that they didn't just play the old heads a lot, in essence. You know what I mean? From what we're hearing, because we didn't see it, but from what we're hearing. So they can go out there and get the jitters out, man.
Right. That's why I'm glad to see, Van Dyke and Garcia, they're doing as well as they are right now, because now we don't have a N'Kosi Perry to fall back on. Now that times get rough in that quarterback position, especially if King don't come back on time, one of these guys got to be up and ready to go. It's going to be like, hey, you on call, you need to be. It's like a job where you need to be ready at any given moment. You got to be at home with your uniform on. You on call, even if we don't call you.
Yeah, man, like Varsity Blues, boy. You can't be back there reading the comic books and doing your homework. You got to be ready to go, boy. Right. But I'm going to tell you something I am kind of, I don't want to say worried about, but I would have expected to see more from this wide receiver group, the young guys, the Brashard Smiths, the young guys that we brought in. I know Xavier Did I say it right? I know I jacked up.
Trust me, man. Nobody jack up names more than me. I think it's Restrespo.
Restrespo, yes. But he did his thing, but he been on the roster already. I want to see what the fresh legs got going on. I want to see what the Brashard Smith gonna bring, what the Romello Brinson, what he brought to the table. You know what I'm saying? I would have loved to see how they came in, because the thing is, they only had 5 practices, and then they had the scrimmage. That's typical. Right. I want to see how fast they picked it up, because the other guys too. Yeah, and that's the problem. Everybody talking about sitting down Wiggins and Pope and all them cats, but if these young boys can't grab it in a hurry, you got to go with the guy just because he's dropping the ball. I get that. That's huge. But I can't catch a ball if I ain't in the right place either. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see names like Avery Huff and Corey Flagg, man, because all off season, we've been talking about this linebackers. What are we going to get from the linebackers? Are any of these guys going to, step it up? We haven't seen anything since like Perriman, since Shaq, since those guys. So what's going to happen in this linebacker position? So it's good to see that they're being highlighted and they're the ones that's standing out. But I want to know about the corners. I want to know about them. I want to know who's shutting it down, who's patting balls down, who's contesting. Even if you get burnt here and there, I still want to see how we progress from last season to this season.
Yeah, I saw your boy Tyreek Stevenson. He got smoked a little bit in one of the practices. I saw one of the film.
Yeah, Mike did him dirt, man.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say this too, though, from a coaching standpoint and for the fan, don't take too much into that, because a lot of this stuff is, you don't want guys to be hurt by trying to contest a lot of passes. So sometimes if he does have to step on you, you let it go, just because you don't want. You don't want to twist some, step on the back of Achilles. So a lot of times it looks worse than what it really is. And that's not making an excuse. That's just body control, understanding players. These are your guys. You don't want to knock your guys out because you need them. You know what I mean? So a lot of times when you look at those tapes, yeah, they get, they getting beat. But again, we don't know what the drill was. Was it just a pat and go drill? Was it a full-fledged drill? Was it 7-on-7? What period were they in? So that's, that's a lot. Like you said, when they edit those films, you don't know what they editing, man.
Yeah, because for Tyreek, he probably had about 4 or 5 times he pat the ball down, but that one clip made the highlight, so that's the one we seen. So we might have some concerns, but then if you go back and say, well, I was there and I saw him, shut Harley down 9 out of 10 times or whatever. That one time you saw was the one bad time. So at the end of the day, we just going off what we see.
Highlight. Yeah, that's why they call them highlights, man. But I just don't want the fan base to put too much into this right now. You know what I mean? It's only the first one. It's only been 5 practices. I mean, and that first scrimmage is typically, let's see what we got scrimmage. Let's see how fast the guys pick up. Because what happens usually in the first 5 days, they throw a gang of information at these cats, right? A lot of people don't realize they don't ease into it. They throw a lot of stuff at them to see how much they can retain. And then they go from this scrimmage. What typically happens is now we're saying, okay, the retention level is not as high as we think it is. Now we need to scale it back. If the retention level is a lot higher, we can keep putting more in and more in. And that's how scrimmages really work. That's the philosophy behind a lot of scrimmages too.
Right. Now, my big takeaway is Garcia, Tyler Van Dyke. That seemed like it's going to be a battle. The next coming scrimmages, it seemed like something to pay attention to during the spring game. Which one of those guys is going to take it over the edge? Because, like I said, King coming back game 1 is not certain. He's on fast pace, like the staff is telling us and showing us little clips of him working out and stuff. But it's not guaranteed that he will be back for that first game. So one of those guys is going to have to be like the bona fide starter to say. But I know we can't see it, man. And that's the frustrating part. But I want to see that battle. I want to see, who's more consistent, who's more accurate. Who reads the field better? Who's breaking down coverages better? Who's making the best decisions when they're out there? And we don't see that, but to see the numbers, we get excited because we see the numbers, but we don't know what's really going on. Those yardage that picked up could have picked up a lot of yards, but you could have missed wide open touchdowns and stuff like that too. So,
well, like I said,
versus that Van Dyke.
It was what, like when I looked at your stats up there, they were 10 for 15. And I mean,
I'll throw that up there again. I had it up here.
That's all good. Yeah, I mean, I ain't mad at it. 10 for 15 and 15 for 19. So that's 5 and 4 missed passes. I mean, anything could have happened. And like you got to say, think about it. Let's just even it out. Let's just say each one of those guys threw that one interception to each person. Yeah. So then that's 3 passes that's missed and 4 passes that's missed. I mean, it's not a bad showing. You know what I mean? It's not a bad showing. Think about it. You can win a game with 15 completions for 188 yards.
Yeah. The run game got to be on point, though. And that's another question mark, too. We see Don Chaney's numbers. What happened to Cam? What happened to Rooster?
Man, my biggest, my most concern is I think our running game is straight. I think Cam is fine. I think we know Chaney is fine. We know Knighton is fine. Rooster, all them cat. My biggest concern is the old line getting a movement. We know them guys can run. I think if I look offensively, I think the most solidified group is the running back. Like the guys you can count on. The problem is you can't run it if you're not getting movement on the line. But I'm talking about from a talent standpoint. I think running backs are like the depth is there. You know what I mean? The depth is there.
If I had to go offensively,
things.
If I had to go offensively, position that I'm not too worried, running back would definitely be it. And if I had to go on the defense, I'd probably go with safeties. Because you got to think about it. The D line, we're not too sure about it right now. We got McLeod coming down to defensive end. We got some unproven guys on the D line, and then linebacking position, which due to what Manning is saying now, look like we might have some kind of light there, but we got to sit back and wait on that. And the cornerback position also is still up in the air. So I'd probably say safety I feel a little bit better at safety on defense than any other position. What's your take?
And I tell people this, you're exactly right. I believe the safeties too. But here's why I can tell you, even subconsciously, you probably feel real comfortable with those guys because there's some depth in there. Just like the running back, there's depth in there. There's no real depth. Even if we get a starting 2 or 3 at the linebacker position, right? There's no real depth. I mean, the rest guys are true freshmen. The Deshaun Troutman and those kind of kids, man. They young, and that's what's scary. Even Leonard Taylor. Think about it. We talking about Power 5 football, bro. We talking about major football, and Leonard Taylor gonna come in and just dominate right away. It's different from playing that power metal.
Hey.
Playing, I'm just being honest. Like, you know what I mean? It's a total different beast, and there's only a few guys that can come in, especially at the D line position as a true freshman, and really make a huge impact. I mean, I only know like Tyler Davis from Clemson. That's only because he's from Orlando, and I had a chance to really coach against him, so I know exactly what that dude had to bring. And I'm not saying Leonard Taylor can't do it by any means, but I'm just saying we have to be kind of realistic with our expectations with some of these young guys because we looking at how they dominated in high school.
Mm-hmm.
We got to see if they can dominate here because it's
question marks.
Scheme, pin and pull, blocking. Like these are things they haven't seen in high school. They haven't seen like a lot of guys not running pin and pull blocking. They running man-on-man blocking. That's all. They're not used to getting their legs cut from up under them, dude pulling around. Like, there's a lot to it, man.
Yeah. I mean, but if Leonard Taylor could bring that same dynamic from high school to college, man, we got an animal. We got a beast.
Yeah.
If he could translate that to the field in college, sky's the limit for him, man.
I think he will. He just got to get his feet wet first. And you jumping in the deep end of the pool with Alabama starting off. So, you know what I mean? And you got to remember, I don't think he's faced a 6'7" offensive lineman or a 6'6" offensive lineman that's 23 years old, that's trying to go to the league. And I got a fresh fish in front of me. I'm finna show this cat. Like, those are the type of things that people not really thinking about when it comes to this. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. But I'm excited. I'm just excited to see these guys get out here and make it happen.
And my bad to the chat. I've been neglecting y'all. CJ says they need to pull little Timmy shirts for Pope and Wiggin, man.
I can't do it to him, man.
It's too early right now, man. Maybe if they get into some games and start doing the drop C's again, then they might need some of them shirts.
Yeah, I might things on deck, man. That's crazy. Oh man, that's like McLeod. I hope and I've said this before, man. I'm putting this out here. That's my dark horse. I hope this dude dominates this year, bro. I hope he dominates just because I always want to see these young guys that come to the U, kept their nose clean, did what they were supposed to do, not in trouble, going to class. I want to see them come out prosperous in some form of fashion. So I hope he, you know what I mean? I just hope he just turn this thing out, man, and just be dominant, man. That's really my goal for him. Just because, you're always going to wish the best for a young man. Like, if he was an a-hole out there and doing stupid stuff, you know what I mean? Then I'd be like, well, he get what he deserves, so.
Now, CJ says, as long as these players can show up in the games like practice, then we might start drinking the Kool-Aid. I think if spring game come around and we start seeing these same results, the defense not getting dominated, the offense not. I want to see a balance. I want to know that the defense is going to be able to stand up against high quality opponents coming out straight out the box, straight out first game Alabama. I want to see if that defense, how it stand against our offense. That's how we going to be able to measure up what it would be like against an Alabama. But offensive wise, I want to see Cam. I really want to see Cam. I want to see if he's attacking the hole, if he's still stutter stepping in the backfield. I want to see his progression from last season to this. I want to
Yeah.
see if he's still in the back, just thinking a little too much, or he's just going straight head forward, running through things, because he's got the size and the muscle to do it.
Yeah, I just think my personal opinion, I just don't think we run the stuff that makes him successful. Like I said, I don't see a lot of gap scheme things, right? And when you have those running backs like when I look at Cam, right, downhill guy, straight ahead guy, he's got a little good jump cut in him, but he's not shaky and wiggly, right? Then you have a Chaney. Let me go to this. You have a Knighting, who a little lightning bolt. He can shift and get in and out. And then you have a Chaney that can do both. You have to be able to have in your playbook. You got to have those plays called. And I don't see a lot of gap scheme stuff for Cam. And when I say gap scheme, meaning pulling things, power plays, the counter trades. That may sound old school, but they still run it. They still run it. You don't see a lot of the wham blocks where he can just take off. Because when you see Cam run, he go downhill, he shot out a cannon. You know what I mean? But when he got to start and stop, he doesn't look that great.
Yeah, because once he get past the linebackers, you start seeing a different speed from him. It's like that acceleration picked up. He started to look like one of those Mustangs or Camaros once they get past the first and second gear. It's sky's the limit after that. And
he got that weight. Yeah, the muscle cars got the weight on them, but after they get to a certain deal, then they turn over, and that's him. But like a cat like Knighton, he can stand still and create a burst within 5 yards, and those are those zone kind of plays you want to run with Knighting, even Chaney. But I really like I run it back, and especially with the guys coming in, the Thad Franklin, the Cody Brown guys. I think Cody Brown, Thad Franklin kind of take over the role in essence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I think the running back group is my least worries. Yeah. Especially bringing in Franklin and Brown. That's another two backs that I think future wise we can count on to take the what's the word for it? The baton. Take the baton from Don Chaney and Knighton and just keep it moving, keep it rolling. We might end up having a running back stable at Miami, man. We might end up having a stable.
And if they don't get a guy in the class of 22, they have to find another Knighton. They have to find that guy's going to be, he's already done a year. He's going to get 2 more years. You got to find another Knighton, hopefully in the class of 22, no later than class of 23, Lord. But you got to find another Knighton because Cody and Franklin are not Knighting, right? They don't have they're kind of very, very similar. It's thunder and thunder, not thunder and lightning. Yeah. And so we got to find another guy that comes in that's dynamic like that. But like I said, they can go maybe this year without a guy, but they got to start looking real hard for the 22-23 season in the recruiting.
Yeah, man, I like that thunder and lightning. That makes perfect sense. They the perfect storm together. When one comes, the other one always follow. That's right. I like that. But man, that safety position, man, it's going to be interesting to see who come out on top because I got a feeling that Bubba Bolden is going to be one of the starters, but that's just a feeling right now. But who's going to be beside him? We got a lot of depth, like you said, man. Not to mention James Williams has not stepped on campus yet.
Yeah, and here's my deal, right? Because I saw somebody put in the chat about James. And I'm going to talk about this tonight. And I heard you say 8 o'clock, but we're actually going at 7:30 tonight. And matter of fact, Brad Tejada going to be on with me tonight. And we're going to chop it up, man, a little bit. We're going to talk about the Ja'Curry Brown commitment. We're going to talk about recruiting class of 22, rather. a little bit, and then we're gonna talk. We could talk some scrimmage, but I mean, like I said, it's all speculation. But yeah, we're gonna jump on. But also, because I'm getting ready, I got to film it right now. I'm doing the Ja'Cory Brown WRE, so I'm gonna premiere that right before I go live. So y'all make sure y'all check it out. I'm gonna break him down, right? I'm not gonna just go through it like I'm gonna give him this one. I'm gonna see what he all about.
I like you do those, man. I like the way you do those. Yeah. Go straight in the. You do it more in depth too. Where I tried doing some of those, but normally I just watch it and let it flow and pick out a couple things here and there, highlight some stuff. But you go in depth. You do it. Trust me, when I watch yours, I'll be like, man, this man just went deep. I don't learn some things that I didn't even pick up on some of these things that you picked up on. So y'all make sure I'm telling you, make sure y'all check it out. Anybody that's not subscribed to Coach Hayes right now, go subscribe. Telling you.
It, and people think I don't watch, I put the tape on, and the only thing I record maybe in a couple times, I might jack up the people's names in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, I may say, Jacoby Brown. I'll be like, oh, damn, I messed that up. I go back. But when I get to the video piece and to the end, it's just one shot Tony. That's it, man. Because what I do want to is my goal for that is to try and give the fans the same kind of reaction college coaches would get when they look at it when they're trying to recruit these guys. I don't want to look at it 2, 3, 4 times and be like, and pick out. I try to find the things that pop off the screen at me, because that's the same thing that pops off the screen at the recruiters, And then if it pops off the screen, then they'll go back and look at it again to find some things maybe they didn't see. And that's really my philosophy behind doing those, man.
Yeah, and I was watching one of your shows, and you were saying when it comes to creating these films, your advice to, any of the kids, put out a highlight, show the coaches what they need to see, because within the first 30 seconds, y'all can tell whether or not y'all want to keep watching.
Bro, I tell people anybody's like that. And you got to remember, I was on, I think we were talking on Caneville with Street and I actually had a chance to go check it out. I did a show down there with him. I was in Miami. But
I watched that.
What happened was I tell guys there's 2 highlights, right? There's a family reunion highlight, the one you make for your mom and the family that everybody send out and watch because they just watch them play. But then there's a recruiting highlight. And if you're not a big profile kid, they're not going to spend their time on it, right? And that's how a lot of guys get pushed through the crack, because they don't have – their highlight is not set up correctly. What we deem as a fan a highlight is not a fan to a recruiting coach. Right. And I always say this, if you're a DB, especially on defense, and a dude runs 90, say they're on their goal line, he take it and you catch him on the 1 yard line, he running 99 yards. That should be your very first clip. Now, it doesn't seem like a highlight to the fans, but trust me, that's what they want to see. They want to see dudes that can run. You know what I mean? They want to see those type of things. Yeah, interceptions are great. Nobody wants to see a tip interception. Not within the first 30 seconds. The first 30 seconds got to be you breaking on the ball, you doing things that can't be coached in essence. That's what they want to see. And that's what I try to get these players to understand when they creating their highlight tape, is that they have to intrigue a coach to want to watch more. Just like I always tell about the trailer of the movie. If I'm going to watch a horror film and the trailer starts off and it's showing them beloved scenes.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine the movie Fast and Furious and they ain't have no car chasing scenes in the trailer.
You come out, see a couple Priuses.
Yeah, you wouldn't go watch it. You know what I mean? So you gotta intrigue these guys. You gotta get them going, man. But listen, I'm gonna run because I gotta get ready for it. I gotta actually break his tape down right now, get it all edited, set up, and get ready for this thing. Try and grab something to eat. And I'm gonna jump on, man. But y'all subscribe, hit the man button, hit the like button, the subscribe button. The man out here giving y'all game for free. He giving y'all FCS games. He giving y'all all type of stuff, man. Y'all go ahead and do it, man. Y'all, you keep working, keep pounding it out, TY, because you always hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Good,
man. Appreciate it, boss.
All right, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all.
I'll be tuned in tonight, man. 7:30, guys, not 8 o'clock. 7:30.
Actually, about 7:20, I'm gonna drop his tape right before it. So y'all hit that subscribe button, man. I'll check y'all out.
All right, boss. Appreciate you coming through, man.
All good. Anytime, man.
All right, there you guys have it, man. Coach Hayes, he gave his thoughts and opinions on, the spring and a couple of the guys and everything. I'm gonna put the link back in the chat for any of you guys that wants to come in, give your thoughts and opinions. Let me know what y'all thinking, man. Yeah, as you can see, my daughter wants to interrupt my live.